Dragon Ball FighterZ is an intense but accessible fighting game with a high skill ceiling. I don't think I'll ever reach the highest levels of skill this game allows for, but I don't intend on being Lord of the Scrubs forever. Today we're going to dive into the practice mode with Piccolo, one of the more difficult characters in the game to master. Let's get started. Piccolo has a tough exterior but a heart made of gold and one of the sharpest minds in the Dragon Ball universe. All of this translates into his playstyle in Dragon Ball FighterZ. He has a varied skill set that combines command grabs, counterattacks, and setups that facilitate a person that likes to think before they punch. Now let's talk about his moves. Piccolo doesn't have a standard ki blast. Instead, he has a stretchy arm command grab. The grab can be angled directly in front of Piccolo, up at a 45-degree angle, or down at a 45-degree angle while jumping. This is a low damage attack that can't be blocked, that starts small combos. It's great for opening up players that are great at blocking, with the added effect of being cancelable into a vanish for when you inevitably misjudge the distance of your hyperextended limbs. Demon Shocker is Piccolo's second special move, and it functions more like a short-range ki blast. Demon Shocker plays a big role in Piccolo's ground-based combos. After landing a stretchy arm grab, Demon Shocker is guaranteed provided you're fast enough. What you do after that depends on what the situation calls for. It's not the best move in his kit, but it's integral to his gameplay. Now this is where things start to get interesting. Homing Energy Blast is Piccolo's only projectile attack, and compared to most of the projectiles in the game, it's terrible. But in the context of Piccolo's kit, it's got a lot of potential. Ignoring for a moment that an enemy sneeze is strong enough to cancel out your blast, setting up mind games with this slow-moving orb is your end goal. Since it's very unlikely that anyone will stand around and watch this glorified beach ball fly at their face, it's up to you to respond based on how they respond. Just like all ki blast, it's negated by a super dash. With that knowledge in mind, you can bait your enemy into dashing at you from full screen, at which point you'd respond with a down heavy. If you don't like the waiting game, follow the orb and go for a grab or a vanish and perform a combo. Changing between grabs, vanishes, and other attacks while your energy blast is on screen will keep your opponent guessing about how to respond. With that in mind, I haven't had the best luck manipulating Homing Energy Blast, but it does have potential. Okay, before we continue looking at the rest of Piccolo's kit, we're going to watch some super basic bitch combos. They're very simple to execute, deal some nice damage, but I can guarantee there's plenty of room for improvement, and I'm sure you will tell me in the comments if there is. Demon Elbow is a cross-up that can be used while grounded or airborne. From what I can tell, it isn't confirmed during any combo besides the medium auto combo, so you'll have to use it during a block string or with assist to make it effective. I don't use it often because I'm bad at the game, but also the attack is somewhat slow and you can be hit out of the animation before it connects. In other words, the move is relatively unsafe, but it does have value. The medium version is a decent gap closer, and the light version is quick enough to catch some people off guard during a block string. You can spend meter on Demon Elbow, but in a similar vein to Krillin's after image, all it does is add more visual clutter to the screen. I haven't found much use for the metered version, but I need to incorporate the light and medium Demon Elbow into my gameplay more often. Demon Slicer is, in my opinion, the most important skill in Piccolo's kit. It's a standard attack that has counterattack properties during the startup while grounded. While grounded, after activating the skill, Piccolo raises his hand, signifying that if you attack him, you're gonna regret it. If you get hit during this brief window, Piccolo will block, teleport into the air, and slash down at the target. If an attack isn't blocked during the startup, the attack has a fixed range. The medium version teleports you on top of the opponent and crosses them over. The heavy version also has a knockdown and will teleport your character directly to the enemy at any distance, whether you block an attack or not. Finally, like most characters, Piccolo has 3 super abilities, the first of which is the Special Beam Cannon. The Special Beam Cannon has 2 special properties. It can be charged up to deal increased damage, and while you're charging, you can teleport up to 5 times. Unfortunately, the beam will only deal bonus damage if it charges for the maximum time. Piccolo's level 3 super is Light Grenade, and there is absolutely nothing special about it. It deals big damage, it costs 3 bars, end of story. Piccolo's final super is Hell Zone Grenade, and this is one of the more difficult supers to use in the game. From what I can tell, it can only be comboed in very specific situations, and combos that work with other supers will not work with Hell Zone Grenade. Despite being difficult to use, it is incredibly powerful, so I'll leave the rest of the experimenting up to you. To wrap things up, Piccolo is an incredibly difficult character to master that's a little on the weaker side until you understand the full breadth of his ability. His ki blasts are terrible, but have a niche use that can lead to big damage. His command grabs pale into comparison to those on Android 16, but still find usefulness. Finally, his counterattacks are fast, versatile, and will give anyone a run for their money if used skillfully. And there we go. Dragon Ball FighterZ is one of my favorite games right now. I absolutely love playing it, but I do hate being terrible, so that's why I'm taking the time to practice and learn the fundamentals for the different characters that I enjoy playing. We did Krillin, we just finished learning a little bit about Piccolo, and up next, I'm not going to spoil it, but there's plenty more to come in the future. So, with all of that said, the name of the game, it's Dragon Ball FighterZ. Come on, you already know that. The name of the channel is iBluairJgR Gaming for Comedy. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment, because if you do, well, maybe I'll get better at Dragon Ball FighterZ. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.